everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Season 3 of Royal Clan in ClanGen. The start of Leaf Bear was quite somber, as most of the clan was mourning or recovering from injuries and illnesses. Fortunately, our apprentice's last patrol went smoothly, resulting in the addition of a new member to Servant Clan. It is now Moon 166 in the second turn of Leaf Bear. Let's see what happens next. Contrary to the last episode, we actually have a ton of things in our main events, so let's get started. Royal Clan has no deputy, so our Royal Advisor has stepped down. Shining Stripe gazes up into Silverpelt and finds that finally the grief has begun to lessen. Inkfeather picks herself up out of her nest and begins the day anew, a fresh conviction in her heart. Ghostfeather wished to join the elders. The clan honors him and all the service Ghostfeather has given to them, so he is the royal advisor that has stepped down. Freezefur no longer has a white calf, which is amazing. Cinnamontail picks himself up out of his nest and begins the day anew, a fresh conviction in his heart. Midnight faded more and more as the days went by until one day she was found dead in her nest. So we have had a death. Midnight, who I was hoping for a litter from, unfortunately passed away. But at least she passed away as a member of the royal grotto. You know, she was elevated to nobility from her servant lineage, and at least she was surrounded by a lot of the cats that adored her. Lotus Gaze was seen chasing a kitty pet off of the territory. The clan has encountered Marshmallow. Okay, another one of our 7 clan members. Scorch Hollow's mangled tail seems to be fully healed, so this is a bittersweet moon for us. Even though we lost Midnight, a lot of the cats are getting out of their grieving. Everyone who had like really serious injuries and illnesses, Scorch Hollow and Freezefur, I think, yeah, they are no longer having white cough, their tails healed, so those very young and vibrant members of the community aren't going to pass away. Burnpaw's sprain has healed, and then we have our warrior Ceremonies. Although Burnpaw's eagerness to fight has left King Foxstar a little worried before, he knows that the clan can count on Burnpaw's bravery and sharp claws when they need them most. In honor of her courage, Burnpaw is given the name Burn Lion. Fiercetooth gives Hazelpaw a friendly nudge when the leader calls the young cat's name. She watches with pride as Hazelpaw steps forward to receive her new name, Hazelslip, and is honored for her risk-taking. Lotus Gaze sits in the crowd, chest puffed out in pride, as he watches Bonepaw be named Bone Beetle, and honored for her skill. He considers himself lucky to have been able to train such an amazing young cat, and looks forward to seeing the warrior she becomes. And then we have our grieving, of course. Life without Midnight seems impossible to Ghostfeather, who was mated to her, of course. How could someone who meant so much to him be taken away so easily? When no one needs anything from him, he breaks down, wailing uncontrollably and cursing the world that took Midnight instead of him. This is the second mate that he has lost. The first one was, I think, Bearpelt. That was, of course, his own choice. Midnight was the first cat that he was paired with by the clan leader for the sake of having a litter. Now she's passed on as well, so this is the second death and heartbreak he's experienced, and he was in love with her. They were in love with each other. The past moon, Midnight, has taken their place in Star Clan. Royal Clan mourns their loss, and their clanmates will miss the spot they took up in their lives. Moments of their life are shared in stories around the circle of mourners, as those that were closest to them take them to their final resting place. Now, I really quickly want to go and take a look at our new warriors that have aged up. So, let's see how they look like. So here we have Burn Lion, Hazelslip, and Bone Beetle. We're going to check up on Burn Lion first off. Burn Lion is bloodthirsty. She has natural intuition and is also a good climber. Let's take a look. She was mentored by King Foxstar, her father. Foxstar influenced her to be more likely to adapt easily. Foxstar helped her become better at climbing. When she graduated, she was honored for her courage. In terms of this, right, so she is actually also a loyalist of her father. Now, this is something I normally talk about at a later point, but like when we go through the cat list, but since I have it in the notes, I thought it would be reasonable to just mention it now. But she is a loyalist. When our apprentices become adults, like when they become 12 months old, they do declare whether or not they're loyal to the current leader, and whether they agree with the leader's policies, and of course, she is a loyalist. But I find it interesting that she has retained her bloodthirstiness. It seems as though her father couldn't do much to deviate her from that path. And I think in the ceremony it did say that he was quite worried for her fierceness. Next up, we have Hazel Slip. Hazel Slip is adventurous, a skilled mediator, and clever. Let's have a look. So she had two mentors. She had the Cinnamon Prince and then her mother. She was mentored by Cinnamon Tail and Fierce Tooth. Cinnamon Tail influenced her to be more likely to resort to violence and be cold towards others. Fierce Tooth influenced her to be more likely to refrain from socializing and follow rules. Cinnamon Tail helped her become better at resolving arguments. Fierce Tooth also helped her become better at resolving arguments. When she graduated, she was honored for her risk-taking. And let's see. She has had a bit of a character arc, I feel, growing up. I mean, she was a daydreamer when she was a kitten, and then she was a shameless apprentice, but she ended up becoming an adventurous young adult. So she has gone through some change. Her apprentice days definitely had an impact on her. She was one of our mid-talent cats, of course, and I think her sister, Burnline, was the cat with the most talent. And she is also a loyalist of King Foxstar, her father. That is what we have for her. And then the youngest of the batch, Bone Beetle. So Bone Beetle is sneaky and very clever. Let's see, she also had two mentors. Her grandmother, the previous queen, was her first mentor, and then Lotus Gaze was her second one. She was mentored by Queen Rainstar and Lotus Gaze. Lotus Gaze influenced her to be more likely to defend their beliefs, step out of their comfort zone, and make impulsive decisions. Lotus Gaze helped her become better at solving arguments. When she graduated, she was honored for her skill. That is fascinating. So even though she spent the most time with her grandmother, it seems as though she learnt everything from Lotus Gaze, or she had the most impact from Lotus Gaze. Even though it seemed to us that Bone Beetle was taking more control than Lotus Gaze was during their patrols and sessions, but no, I suppose Lotus Gaze had something of importance, or a lot of things of importance, to pass on to Bone Beetle. And let's have a look. Of course, she was one of 3 apprentices in her batch and graduated as the Bone Princess. I don't know why I've got Prince written there. The Bone Princess. And she has retained her personality as a sneaky apprentice. I mean, she was a shy kitten, sneaky apprentice, and is now a sneaky young adult. And I think her father, and she was the least talented, so she had to work the hardest to become the Bone Princess. And I think her father would also be really proud of her because she is her father's favorite child. And she is also a loyalist of King Foxstar, which is very, very nice. But that's what we have for our new warriors to join the ranks. Okay, we are going to jump into the Medicine Cat Den, but really quickly, I feel like I should let you guys know the changes that have happened in the political ranks following Ghost Feather's retirement. So Freeze Fur has become the new royal advisor, Cinnamon Tail is the new royal physician, and Fierce Tooth is the new matchmaker. Okay, let's resume with the Medicine Cat Den. Thankfully, no one is sick or hurt. Out of the den, Ghost Feather is grief-stricken. Obviously, his mate just passed away. We have Nothing Minor as well. Shining Stripe gazes up into Silverpelt. Okay, he recovered from his grief. Inkfeather recovered from her grief. Freezeful was given ragwort as treatment for white cough and then recovered from that. Cinnamon Tail recovered from grief. Rosemary was used for Midnight's body after she passed away. Scorch Hollow was given a goldenrod as treatment for mangled tail, and then the tail healed. Burnpaw was given dandelion as treatment for sprain. The sprain healed, and then Freezefur could not find any herbs this moon, and that was obviously before Cinnamon Tail took this position. Now let's take a look at our relationship events to see if maybe we can get some sort of inkling about what Midnight's final moments must have been like. And we didn't take a look at hold on, here in the whatchamacallit, in StarClan, but this is Midnight, guys, with her childish self and steady paws. She's no longer with us, but she has joined all these other cats that have passed on. But let's go to the relationship events. Shining Stripe notices how Ghostfeather is being helpful around camp. Shining Stripe talks all the time about King Foxstar. Flare Freckle and Bonepaw debate about something interesting. Though they disagree, they stay amicable. Flare Freckle hears a nice story about Cinnamon Tail. Inkfeather is letting Freezefur share his troubles with her, hoping he'll feel better afterwards. Inkfeather and King Foxstar swap secrets with each other. King Foxstar stumbles upon Midnight, looking at the stars with wonder in her eyes. I wonder if Midnight knew that her time was near, because she did have a peaceful passing from old age. So she was kind of looking at the stars, wondering how it would be once she was among them and no longer down here with the clan. Oh, King Foxstar appreciates how Burnpaw always seems to ask how he's doing. King Foxstar sneaks out at night to sleep in Fiercetooth's nest, which is adorable. They are mates. Hazelpaw doesn't want to apologize to Ghostfeather for something. Ghostfeather realizes how smart Hazelpaw is when it comes to certain things. Freezefur and Fiercetooth work together to lead a scary bug out of the camp. Freezefur wishes that a clanmate liked him as much as they like Bonepaw. Cinnamon Tail hears Hazelpaw purring during a nap. Cinnamon Tail is hurt by one of Burnpaw's pranks, but Burnpaw doesn't seem to believe him. Fiercetooth thinks Burnpaw is being thoughtful of others. While Fiercetooth and Cinnamon Tail are talking, Fiercetooth gets the feeling that she can trust Cinnamon Tail and confesses that she likes Freezefur. Wait, hold on. Fiercetooth? Fiercetooth, what do you mean? You're mated to the king. You're mated to the king? You can't tell Cinnamon Tail that you like his mate. Cinnamon Tail is like mated to Freezefur and they're very happy together, as far as I'm aware. Fiercetooth, focus on your children. Focus on your children who are going to become apprentices in a second, or about to have their ceremonies. At least at this point in time, they still haven't had the ceremonies yet. Fiercetooth and Bonepaw fill a puddle in the camp with sand together. Midnight and King Foxstar come up with a catchy song together. Midnight was spending a lot of her final moments with the king, interestingly enough. Like, he saw her watching the stars, and then they were coming up with a catchy song together. It's kind of nice. I feel like it shows the king being a little bit more attentive to some of his, older members. Midnight can't stand hearing about how helpful Cinnamon Tail is. Lotus Gaze heard a story about something kind Bonepaw did. Lotus Gaze, Scorch Hollow, and Freezefur had a nice talk while eating. Lotus Gaze scoffed loudly at one of Burnpaw's suggestions. Scorch Hollow includes Lotus Gaze in a conversation that Lotus Gaze struggled to join. That's really considerate. These two are brothers, and Scorch Hollow is the younger brother of Lotus Gaze. After something happens, Scorch Hollow and Hazelpaw find comfort in one another's company. And then I think the youngsters have had their ceremonies at this point. Burnline is told about Shining Stripe's bravery during a recent time of struggle. Hazel Slip wants to explore Two-Leg Place with Burnline. When they return from a patrol, Bone Beetle and Lotus Gaze seem more at peace with each other than usual. And then, of course, we have Midnight's passing. So she actually didn't spend any time with Ghostfeather before she passed on. She was spending a lot of time with King Foxstar. Let's take a look at the cat list. Even though we have already seen the loyalties of the newest cats, or the newest warriors, I thought it'd be interesting for us to take a look at everyone's loyalties. So, with King Foxstar's 3 daughters now in his favor, the whole clan is largely in his favor. Excluding himself, we have 12 cats in the clan right now in the Royal Grotto, and of those 12 cats, 7, they are loyal to King Foxstar and agree with his policies of sabotage. Only 5 of the cats are anti-loyalists and don't agree with the way he does things, which is obviously very different to how things started off for him. But good. It seems as though the clan, even though war is not great, but it seems the cats we have right now are a little bit more warmongering, perhaps. Maybe opportunistic is a better word than what we've had beforehand. So okay, that is that. And I think we can go ahead and see what everyone is doing for the day. Okay, King Foxstar is drinking water from a nearby stream. Freezefur is craving the taste of mouse. Cinnamon Tail doesn't think twice before correcting a clanmate on something minor. Fierce Tooth is feeling motivated. Scorch Hollow asks for extra work, sure that he can handle it. Lotus Gaze daydreams about being a warrior in Leopard Clan. Bone Beetle had a nice chat with Alona outside clan territory. Burnline is cleaning the clearing of snow. Hazel Slip saw a kitty pet sitting calmly next to a dog. Inkfeather sneezes when a snowflake landed on her nose. Shining Stripe is enjoying the warm sun in the camp clearing. Flarefreckle is cleaning the clearing of snow. Wait, Flarefreckle, you're spending time with, I think, Scorch Hollow. No? Who are you spending time with? Hold on a second. Someone was also clearing snow, no? Burnline. Sorry, Burnline and Flarefreckle are spending time together clearing the snow. Ghostfeather had a nightmare involving the rushing river nearby. Oh no. I wonder if he's going through nightmares because his mate just died. Now, on the topic of mates, so obviously the clan, they were expecting and hoping for a litter from Ghostfeather and Midnight, but Midnight has passed on, so that is no longer the case. King Foxstar, though, is going to make clear to everyone that he will find a new mate for his younger brother, Ghostfeather. He is going to elevate one of the 7 clan cats to nobility, bring them into the clan, and they will be mated to Ghostfeather and will be hoping for a litter between them. So Ghostfeather, I don't know how he's going to be able to deal with that. I feel as though, at least when he was mated to Midnight, there had been some time that had already passed since Bearpelt's death, so Ghostfeather had gotten over that grief, and he was a bit more receptive to Midnight, but this is still so fresh. I feel like he might close himself off to any new mate that comes, but I guess we'll have to see how things pan out there. But Foxstar, he doesn't want to give up on his brother being able to have a family of his own. So that's something we're going to keep an eye on. This also means, though, that after this episode, I'm going to be playing off camera until we get a pregnancy notice in the clan. And I don't know how much time is going to pass from, now until then, because we have had, I think in the past, periods of time where a lot of moons have passed before the clan has managed to grow and a lot of deaths have happened. We had, I think, like a vision from StarClan in our early episodes of this season. So I don't know how things are going to go, but yeah, I will be playing off camera after this episode to see when we have the next pregnancy notice, and I don't know how much the clan's going to change in that time. So we should enjoy the cats we have right now while we have them. Moving on to patrols, we currently have 74.5 prey. We need 31, so we don't have to worry about food at all. Cinnamon Tail is our new royal physician, so let's send him out and see how he does. Cinnamon Tail pads along, a mouth open slightly as he scents for any traces of herbs. Oh, he can smell some raspberries nearby, but it seems that they're just over the border. Proceed. Cinnamon Tail starts to step over the border, but a hiss stops him in his tracks. A snowy clan patrol is padding his way. Though the patrol seems to calm down as they recognize Cinnamon Tail, they look gravely at the medicine cat and explain that they can't spare any herbs. The medicine cat sent them to collect the last of the berries. Cinnamon Tail nods and thanks them anyways. Relations with Snowy Clan have worsened, which is not great. And we are going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 1. Okay. So, we have in our first patrol, Freeze Fur, Bone Beetle, Lotus Gaze, Hazel Slip, Burn Line, and King Foxstar. This is going to be the first time our newest warriors are going out on patrol as warriors, so I'm excited to see what they get up to. While on patrol, Lotus Gaze notices some suspicious paw prints in the mud beneath the canopy. Proceed. The paw prints lead to a trespassing rogue. Hazel Slip climbs into the trees with her clanmates to set up a trap, rigging a branch to fall on the rogue's head. And it works, sending the startled intruder yowling as they flee Royal Clan territory. Okay, so it was a really good time out for them. And then we have Scorch Hollow, who is going out on his own. I mean, he is confident, but he has had an incident already with a mangled tail in the past. And it's still Leaf Bear. It is very dangerous for cats to go out on their own in Leaf Bear. Like, all sorts of things could happen. But okay, let's see how he does. While hunting through the snow-covered forest, a flash of scarlet catches Scorch Hollow's eye. He freezes, tail tip twitching, and the scent of air, and scents the air for prey. Proceed. Scorch Hollow drops into a hunting crouch, watching the oblivious cardinal as it perches on a low and barren shrub branch. With a wriggle of his hind legs, Scorch Hollow leaps, snagging the cardinal in his front paws and killing it with a quick bite to the neck. A small amount of prey is brought to camp. Okay, look at that! He had a good hunt out. And he got some food back for us, even though we didn't need it. And now we have 78.5. I'm really happy for him. He did well. And that is all we have for this episode. It was quite a bittersweet moon. We had the excitement of our warrior ceremonies, along with the unexpected loss of Midnight to old age. While the clan mourns her loss, King Foxstar has already decided to find a new mate for his younger brother in hopes he can have a chance at building a family of his own. With that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.